Grandma's Kitchen.
There's a fiddle tune and a wooden spoon while she's stirring and singing. There's friends leaving or family land, and then the phone's usually ringing. No matter who you are or what you've done, everything's forgiven.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God. Grandma's Kitchen. And ain't it good to be in Grandma's Kitchen?
Grandma's Kitchen.
Hello everybody, Mary Janet here from Tunes and Wooden Spoons, and thank you for stopping by for a little visit here in my little kitchen in Port Hood, Cape Breton Island. It's nice to have you all, and I hope some of you out there who never knew about Cape Breton will make a visit to Cape Breton, and maybe we'll bump into one another. So today, hello there. Hi, Andrea Beaton. I just see 2 messages at a time there. So it's been a pretty darn good week, and the weather, it's not warm, but today is pretty nice here. And I know they have a little darkness up in Halifax. There's been some overcast skies and stuff like that. I was talking to some there today. So today we're going to be busy. For anybody who's joining me and is going to be cooking with me today, well, I hope you're all ready and pre-cut your veggies and all of that stuff. Now that opening song or tune, not a song, tune was played by Andrea Beaton. And Kinnan is on that CD that I love to play, you know, the one that says, that is called Falcha, and put out by the Celtic Music Interpretive Center in Judic. And it's one of my favorite CDs, as many of you know, and it's called Airs and Waltzes. And so anyway, we're going to get started here, but I am going to set my oven now because I'm scared I'll forget. So when we get to the tea biscuits, I won't forget. I'm going to set it right now to 425. There, or wherever you're comfortable cooking your biscuits at. And I'm going to wash my hands, but first of all, I have an announcement to make. I want to wish a lady in Glace Bay a very happy birthday, and I know she watches all the time. Debbie Donovan, happy birthday. Today's her birthday, and she's a real good pal of Mitchell's mother-in-law, Charlene Chesson. Both of them nurses, were kind of semi-retired last year and then I guess retired. I don't know where Debbie is in the retirement scheme, but God bless our medical people. And not just the medical people, you know, the nurses and the doctors and all of those caregivers, but it's the cleaning staff and the people that have to work so hard. Anyway, it's a wonderful world with them in it, and I think of them all the time, and I appreciate everything you do, and the shift work and the night shift and the hardships and the beauty of bringing people back to good health. So anyway, thank you to all the nurses. But today, Debbie, happy birthday to you. So, Okay, I'll wash my hands. We'll get at this soup. It's so good. Even if you don't like parsnips, you will love this soup. I don't like soup. I love soup. I don't like parsnips and I don't like carrots, but I love this soup. Okay, hold on a second. Rodina Braden, hello. Shirley Smith, hi Shirley. Debbie Lougheed, oh yeah. Lots of familiar names to me now. I just love it. I feel like I know you all. Odette, hi. Lo Poirier, great, awesome. Okay, let's get to this. So, the recipe is online on my website, toonsandwoodenspoons.com, and it's also on my Facebook page. And for anybody that some people misunderstand, they think that if they miss the live stream that they miss it all, but no, it stays on Facebook. I may be changing that up after a little while, just keep them there for a couple of weeks because there's so much content there after a year. But the other thing is the recipes, Brennan, our son, will post them and upload them to our YouTube channel, which is also, of course, called Tunes and Wooden Spoons. So if you'd just rather pop over there, and there's something about Tunes and Wooden, about YouTube that you can, if you get so many followers on there, that you can make some money from the views and stuff like that. So feel free to go over to YouTube and subscribe. That's the name. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll get some more little change here and there. So it's great stuff. Hi, Mom. That's either Brennan or Tammy. I don't know who is helping today on Tunes and Wooden Spoons, but you'll see that. So hi, either one of them is there, and they're great to help. Okay, I'm going to bring you over to my there now. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? Can I get a little message that the voice is coming out loud and clear? I hope so. Anyway, I'll keep an eye out. Somebody's shortening expired in 2017. That is good. Okay, so my veggies are all pre-cut. And I am actually going to drain them now. Just the carrots and the parsnips for now. And we're going to start with 2 large onions that I have chopped up, fairly large pieces. And we're going to put that in the largest frying pan you have. I have this old thing that even the handle is gone on it, but it works. I love my Pampered Chef frying pan, but it's a lot smaller than that, so it wouldn't hold all of this. Okay, so I have here a 1/4 cup of butter, and I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to see if I can put you down. Volume is good. Okay, that's good to hear. There now. So I'm going to just put that on high, kind of high, medium high, until it starts to melt. And then I'm going to add my onions to it. There we go. And I have over here my trusty Pampered Chef cast iron Dutch oven. Oh, I love it. It's a great little thing. And it's certainly not little. It's heavy as anything. Hi from Saskatoon, Linda Colton, Teresa McNeil. Oh my gosh, I love these conversations you guys are having with one another. It's awesome. I'm going to put the onions in now. Really, from start to finish, before you add the vegetables to this, it's going to be about 15 minutes, and we're going to set the timer. And there we go. And you can break those onions apart. After a little while, they'll start to get nice and soft. And don't worry if they get too brown or anything like that. Nothing's going to harm this recipe. There. Oh, thank you, Lo. That's awesome. Well, you guys make my day too. Is that sun? The window is kind of bright. Oh, there now. Almost broke it. That's better. It's not as bright behind me. Oh, you got the Pampered Chef wooden spoons. Aren't they nice? I love them too. Here. I have you on the tripod that's standing up. And so that when I do go outside for our fiddle player, I won't have to start letting the legs down and creating all that fuss. Hi from Owen Sound. Oh, hi, Charlie. Charlie and Krista, how are you guys today? I know Charlie and Krista are watching today. Ashley, wish you were here, Ashley, to play a tune for us. I was listening last night to a live stream by Mike Hall, and oh my gosh, it was 1 hour of music. It was just a wonderful thing, you know. David Murphy, hi, he's in Dubai. Oh, our daughter Margie spent a few years over there in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, but she was in Abu Dhabi. But I know they go up to Dubai every now and again. But I know there's lots of Cape Bretoners over there in the UAE. God love them. And Cecil's niece, Jerry, is there. And she's, her and her husband are anxious to make it home to Cape Breton one of these months. We'll see. Okay, so that's frying up nicely, if you can see that. And I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit because it's still got a ways to go before when I make things, I time it out exactly so that, you know, they'll say, well, saute it until it's translucent and all of that stuff. I want to have a time. So I time everything most of the time, and I have that in the recipe. Hi, Veronica from Niagara Falls. Oh, David Murphy, he says he knew Margie. Yeah, well, Margie is probably on here today, I would say. So, David Murphy, hello to you. David Murphy, where are you from? Are you from the Margerie area? There's lots of Murphys down there. You know how we are in Cape Breton. We have to know who you are and where you're from and who your father was. Hi, Donna Skull. Oh, that's awesome. You're doing your flower beds. I've been working on the flower beds. I shouldn't say I have. The last couple of years, I've had a neighbor just down the road, a young lassie, and she's got a green thumb, and she helps me with my flower beds. I kind of tell her what I want, and she goes and does all of the bull work that's required. So she's been here, but we're not finished yet. But Virginia is a great gal, and she has done lots of stuff for me to make me the ground kind of look really nice, you know. That's great. Okay. Hello, Yvonne from Halifax. There we go. And here, guess what? Onions are another thing that I hate biting into, but I love the flavor of an onion. And I'm so fussy. I know you guys get a kick out of that, but I am fussy. Do you know what? I love onion rings. And you know what? I break it apart and I pull as much of the onion out as I can. I don't know. It's just me. Grew up in Belcote. Oh, went to teachers college. I missed it, David, but I think I get that you were from Belcote. I hope that was David Murphy anyway. Oh, there's a troll on there. Okay, kids, can you get rid of that troll that's on there? Oh, the onions don't agree with you. And they're so flavorful in soups and stuff like that. Mary Jessie's on here, and she's talking about David Murphy. See? There's all these connections. Raw onion sandwiches, I know. People really do eat that. A lady I looked after, a lovely lady in Halifax, she loved onion sandwiches. Loved onion sandwiches. Okay, I'm going to turn that down on low. That's completely on low now. You'd think it was almost ready, but we're just going to leave it go. And my oven is ready, so when we make the tea biscuits. No, Helene, I just caught your message there. It's not overpowering in the soup, at least as far as I know. You know what? I'm a poor judge of that, but I just know that I love the flavor of the soup. But I don't really know what the taste is that I'm getting when I'm tasting it. I just know that I love the flavor that all of these together make. And so it's pretty even with, you know, it's 4 carrots, four large carrots, and 4 large parsnips. I mean, put an extra carrot in and take 1 parsnip away, and, you know, just in case, you know, that might work. We shall see. Oh, dried onion flakes. Well, the oven, Jean Clark is asking what temperature for the oven for the biscuits. That's 425. Hi, Kathy Wilson. Oh, I missed the whole rest of the message. Okay. So I know that some of you, I hope you were okay with that. I shared Brennan, my son Brennan, and his daughter Anna were doing a gig from their home for their neighboring golf course, Oakfield Golf Course. And they were doing takeouts at the Oakfield Golf Course, but they wanted entertainment if people wanted to pop into their Facebook page. So Brennan said, we're going live at 7 o'clock on Friday night. And so I shared that to our page. Oh my gosh. It was so nice because we haven't been able to watch. She can smell my kitchen. Kathy Wilson's mom. Hi, Mom. But if you get a chance, anybody who hasn't watched it, you should. It's still on my Facebook page. You can still have a listen. Oh, there was a couple of songs there that Anna sang, but the one that starts out in French, La Vie en Rose, she did such a good job. But you know, I am biased because I miss seeing them. You know, they're up in Halifax and they're locked down there. And it's the way it is. So it was really nice for us to sit and watch and comment. And it's so funny because Brennan, the kids all we're all in this sibling texting. And Cecil is a huge Montreal fan. Brennan is a huge Toronto fan. My grandsons, a lot of them are Toronto fans. The rest of the kids are mixed, but mostly Montreal fans. Krista's a die-hard Montreal fan. And I don't know if any of you are following the NHL, but my God, they were due for elimination last night, Montreal, and they scored in overtime. So I had a happy husband. And anyway, it's a funny thing, the rivalry. Gordy, he's a die-hard Habs fan, and the other kids. Margie has sent us a couple of videos of Gordy dancing a jig after they scored in overtime. Jessie McKinnon, hello, she's down there in Boston. Hi, Jessie. She's formerly from Port Hood, and she's a die-hard Toronto fan. Yes, Avon, I am proud of them. They sound so nice together. Lisa Grace, Canadians. Look at these. All the fans are coming out here. Debbie Musselman, I wasn't happy. That's hilarious. Do you know what? I think my onions are ready, and it's saying 3 more minutes, but it's ready. They're nicely cooked through. They're fine. I'm going to shut that timer off. And to that, I'm going to add the veggies, the chopped up veggies. So I have 4 parsnips and 4 carrots. And we're just going to put them right in the frying pan. Alright, so we're going to do this for about 10 minutes. And just stir it around. That's all it is. This is such an easy soup. So easy. am going to drain my potatoes now. And into my soup pot here, I'm going to put a container of chicken broth, and it's 900 mils. And this one has just got a little less sodium in it. And I'm going to put some crushed parsley in here. It's up to yourself. Maybe a couple of teaspoons. And I'm going to put some thyme in there. Just going to sprinkle it in. I have no idea how much. Maybe I put an amount on the recipe. Did I? Seasoned with salt and pepper. I can't see where I put anything in there. Oh yeah, parsley. Add some parsley and thyme. So, have as much as you want. I have some kosher salt here. Again, use your discretion. And some pepper. And your 3 large potatoes. And I am just going to turn that on. I'll just on low for now, so it'll just kind of warm up while we're waiting for this. Now, recently, anybody who's friends with me out there on Facebook would have known that recently we lost one of the biggest historian, storyteller. He was everything. And his name was Jim Sinclair. He was 90, but he lived a full life, and he gave so much to our area. He was a Harvard graduate. He moved back home to where his grandparents lived in Mull River. But there's a recipe book that he put out. It's called Nancy's Wedding Feast. And you can see it's by James Sinclair and Yvonne Levere. But it's like, there's a couple of stories in here and lots of recipes and lots of like little historical stories. Just so nicely done. But if you ever, like oatmeal scones, Scotch pancakes, smoked fish pie, clapshot, seaweed pudding, currant cake, kale soup, stowed chicken, like apple pie biscuits, mincemeat, just lots of stuff, you know. And it's a nice read, and I don't know where it's available. It was put out by the Cape Breton University Press in partnership with CBC Radio, because Jim Sinclair, for I don't know how many years, he had a spot on CBC Radio, and they had a big tribute to him after he passed away. But Yvonne Levere is a cordon bleu chef in Sydney, and they're both CBC Cape Breton columnists. But it says that its food and memory are the recipes of shared experiences. Together, they conjure the richness of oral tradition, evoking the time and place where stories are told. And what's so special about this is that last summer I got a call from Jim. He called me and he just wanted to offer congratulations of the good thing I was doing with Tunes and Wooden Spoons. And do you know how much that means to a person, to get that gratification from someone that you so highly respect? And he was one of those. But Nancy's Wedding Feast and Other Tasty Tales. I don't know where it would be available, but this one was $23.95, and there is an ISBN number on the back there. But I just took it out and started reading it after he had passed away, and just wanted to say something about him. Okay. See, and once this part is done, I'm going to put it in here, all of this, and I'm going to bring it to a simmer, and as soon as it starts bubbling, I'm going to turn it down and set the timer for 30 minutes. And while that's on the stove, you just have to check it every now and again, we'll make the biscuits. Okay, for anybody who's just here for the biscuits. I thought I made biscuits on the show, but I guess I didn't, How is Kathy Wilson's mom doing? I hope you're enjoying this. In my day growing up as a child, in the 50s, whatever, you never got pureed soup. And my brother, Bernie, absolutely detests pureed soups. And he said, I grew out of baby food long ago. The last time I had a few in for lunch, I guess that was a couple of summers ago. And that was his retort. He's pretty snappy. And that's what he said to me when I asked him if he wanted some soup. Oh, Tina, yes. Yeah. Oh, of course. In the cinnamon rolls video, yes. So when I was making the cinnamon rolls, when you get to the point where you're rolling it out, that's my biscuit recipe. But I guess I never really did the biscuits on the show just as biscuits. So we'll do that. Yeah. A beautiful day, or a gray day in Victoria. Hi, Maureen Mitchell. Okay, so this is just about ready to go. Can you see pretty good there? I'm going to bring you over closer. Oh, I love that you guys, some of you know Jim. Okay. Okay, the timer is just up here. And I'm just going to spoon all of this in here. I'm going to turn my heat up on high. I'm kind of laughing to myself. I'm thinking of Mama here. And when I was just going to start talking about an immersion blender. My goodness, they didn't have any of those gadgets in their day, but they made delicious meals. All right. I'm going to take this frying pan over here. Okay, how's that? Can you see into that pot? All right. So I'm just going to wait until it starts bubbling. While I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to show you. This is my immersion blender. Gordy gave it to me at Christmas, and I was charging it because it's a hands-free. So there. The dandy little rig. I have one that plugs in too. Yep, it's good to go. And if anybody's looking for the brand name of that, can you see that? TRU. If you didn't have one. And it also has a little addition, just a little whisker. Coming along. You know, and they're not that I mean, you can get one. You don't have to get one that's, you know, hands-free or anything like that. Not hands-free, but that you just charge and there's no cord. Because I think I paid $19 for the one I have. So they're not an expensive tool to have in your kitchen. This one's just a little more fancy. Yeah, it's nice. Hi, Bernice Chason, and Ann Boudreau, and Shirley McCormick. Ashley, I got a Black & Decker screw. Oh, I missed that. You probably could, Ashley. You're crazy. And Amazon, you can get anything on Amazon. Yeah. Ashley, I saw where your mom and dad had their anniversary. Looking pretty spry. That Angus is one tough cookie, your dad. Good, there's a good crew in that Willie's crew. So to explain everybody about Ashley, of course, is a phenomenal, world-renowned fiddle player. And Angus, his father, and my husband Cecil are first cousins. Because you know how we are in Cape Breton. We have to know who's related to who and how you're related and all of that. And okay, so that's starting to boil. I'm going to let it come to a full boil. I'm going to put the cover on. And I'm going to turn it down to low. And I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. And I'll check to make sure the carrots and the parsnip are cooked through. I know the potatoes will be. And so let's go over to the kitchen table and let's make some biscuits. All right. So a little different. Oh. Now, I'm going to turn that down. Okay. We'll have it quiet for now. Did I set it for 40? I did. God, you guys are smart. There now. What would I do without you? Okay, we're going to do a quick mix because you guys know how to make biscuits. I did check my timer and I changed it to 30 minutes. I know. What's his father's name? Okay, I don't have to teach you guys how to make biscuits anymore. So we're going to do this, and I'll do it just like I normally would if I'm making it for my family, okay? So 4 cups of flour. And I'm going to keep a little out. I can dip my biscuit cutter in it. And put a little underneath. Okay, into that, I'm going to put 6 teaspoons of baking powder. And a couple of teaspoons of salt. And a couple of tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of sugar. You don't have to put sugar in if you'd rather not have that sweetness. And then I better turn that down. Sorry about that. So I'll review the recipe again. 4 cups of flour, 6 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, and a couple of heaping tablespoons of white sugar. And just mix that up with your hand is fine. Okay. And into that, you're going to put about a half a cup of shortening. And if you want to use butter, it's just fine with just butter in there, but I use shortening. That's how my mother-in-law made it, Marie. And I just get in there with my hands. You can use a pastry blender if you like. This is how I've always made them. I learned this from my mother-in-law, Marie. And you know what? If it's not broke, it doesn't need fixing, so. And it's nice to use old recipes because it just, I don't know, I always think of her when I make it, and I think that's so nice to remember the person perhaps that gave you the recipe. Okay, I think that's pretty darn good. Okay, you see into that? It's nice, well incorporated there, okay? So now, you're just gonna make a well in the center, and into that, I'm just gonna go wash my hands first. Into that, you're going to put 2 cups of milk, or whatever milk you have. Because I've used, like I've said before, I've used whatever milk that I had in, and if you happen to have buttermilk in, that they're delicious. If you had, most of the time you wouldn't have buttermilk in, but I'm just going to use plain milk today. What I'm using is just 1%, I think, is what I'm using today. But you can use skim. You can use a cup of cream and a cup of water. You can use 2 cups of buttermilk, whatever you want to do. I'm going to get my milk. So, better turn that camera down. Pretty much Bonnock, same ingredients, really. Or with Bonnock, you could use half the, a couple cups of whole wheat flour and a couple cups of all-purpose flour would be fine. Okay, I'm going to pour the 2 cups in. And that, my friends, is all the ingredients in this biscuit recipe. You're just going to mix until all of the flour you see is just used up. Some people might find that this is too wet, that's I don't know why that happens, because some people who make the cinnamon roll recipe find that their dough is too wet, but it's the same measurement for me, so I don't know why that would be. There, they're ready. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle some flour. And put it out there. All right. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top and just kind of gather it together. You're really going to knead it just very, very little. And take your rolling pin. Don't worry if you've got little holes here or there. Don't worry about that. I think I rolled it out to about, I suppose it's a little over an inch or something like that. Now this is my preference. It's a stoneware pan. It's Pampered Chef. I swear to God, it's 20 years old. I just dust it with a tiny little bit of flour. And I have my biscuit cutter here. This is an old biscuit cutter, as you can tell. And for every biscuit I make, I dip it in the flour. This biscuit cutter is, I think 2.5 inches wide, because I like a big biscuit. But if you like a smaller biscuit, and I think I said this when I was making the cinnamon rolls, but I said the wrong thing. I'm famous at doing that. But tomato paste cans. I think I said tomato sauce cans in my cinnamon roll, but that's not what I meant. I meant the tomato sauce cans. They are, if you take the top and the bottom off, because sometimes people use a glass, but the air from the baking powder gets trapped up in there and it doesn't sometimes get you a nice clean cut. A clean cut you need to have open at the other end as well. And so, okay, so it's 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 6 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 heaping tablespoons of white sugar. Mix that up. Add 1/2 cup of shortening or butter and mix that all up with your hands, and then make a well in the center and add 2 cups of milk, whatever combination of milk. Yes, I preheated the oven at the very beginning so I wouldn't forget, but it's at 425. That's what I cook mine at. You may want a lower temperature because the stoneware pan, it's a softer bake on the bottom, I find, and they're perfect for when I make biscuits. That's all what I've been using. So now I'm going to put them on the pan. See if you can see that. So there we go. They'll make about maybe 15 or something like that. And I don't brush the tops of mine. I just leave them dry. But if you like that, you can brush it with some cream perhaps. Or I don't know if an egg wash would work with that. Seriously, so many people think that I must know the answer to things. And I don't. Like, I'm just a plain old kitchen baker here. If I would probably Google what would be best, because I don't declare to be an authority on anything. And I should get 3 more out of there. I don't like to roll it out very much more, because I find that they'll be tougher. So these are the ones that you won't give to visitors, right? You keep them for yourself, or you give them to your husband, because they're not perfectly formed. Okay. There we go. We'll deal with that later. Okay. Here they are. In the oven at 425 for 18 minutes, okay? I didn't even have to set the timer because the timer was on 18 minutes. How funny is that? I mean, I don't see how you could go wrong. I don't see how you can go wrong. It's just such a simple recipe. The most where you could go wrong is handling it too much when you're putting the dough out. That's really the only that would make them more tough. And you know, when you're using a metal pan, sometimes well, at that high a temperature. So if you're using a metal pan, I don't know, maybe you'd want to bake them at 400 or 410 or something like that. This Pampered Chef, you know, yeah, Pampered Chef, it's a set of I'll show them to you. The set of cookie cutters that they have. This is the set of cookie cutters from Pampered Chef. Darn it, I missed that. So There's a 4-inch one. This is the one that I would use if you're making a pastry for your muffin tins, because that's how big you need it. So say if you're making butter tarts, right? And this is a I think it's 3 inches, and it's you know, for big molasses cookie or a fat Archie. This is the one you'd use for the biscuit. Pretty sure they're the same thing, but sometimes my biscuits are thicker than this, and this one has a handle, and it's old. I just gravitate to it. And the other little thing in there, probably used to make a donut hole if you make donuts or something like that. That's the or a really dainty, tiny little shortbread cookie or something. But it's great. And I mean, if you, I don't know how much they are. I just went through the Pampered Chef catalog this weekend, and I was saying, oh, I want that and I want that. Just the little things. And, you know, it's fun. It's really fun. And then you can go to the dollar store, and like I love these little cookie cutters. Look, these have a nice little scallop on the edge. See that? And they all have that scalloped edge, if you can see. Well, how much were they? $2. Oh, I have to tell you a little story about biscuit cutters or whatever, but my real mother, her mother had 17 children. She was the second oldest in the 17 family. And when she went and married my father, and I don't know how many children she had at that time, but she might have just had a couple. And she actually had baby food in a little cans, right? And anyway, she was over visiting at the house, and she was feeding the baby the baby food out of the can. And then she decided to make biscuits for her mother, and she couldn't find the biscuit cutter anywhere. But so she took the baby food can and cut the other end off it and washed it out, and she made the biscuits with that can. Anyway, my Aunt Kalina, who is, I think she's soon going to be 97, and she's at the McGilvery house. What's that arcade? The arcade house in Antigonish. And hello. Oh, hello! Yay!
We're late.
Well, look who we have. We have two of the best. That's Andrea and her mom, Betty, and they're here to play for us. So do you guys mind being on the front deck?
Oh, okay.
To social distance? No, but right out here.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Do you have a power bar? Mine doesn't work.
Yes, I have. Yes, I do.
We'll just help ourselves.
Yes, I do. Hold on a second, everybody. Baby food in the cans. I'll be right back with you. Well, we just have to take a little break here and make this power bar available to the musicians. Here you go. There's the power bar. No, that's all right. Look, I'm so happy that you're here.
We set up on the back.
Do you know what? There's a plug over there. Oh, if I can let you, I'm going to finish with these fellas, okay? And you'll find it.
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Well, there now. We have Betty and Andrea. and they're going to be on the front deck and they're going to be playing after a little bit. So the biscuits are in the oven and the soup, how many minutes left? There's 11 minutes left in the soup before we... So, yeah, Andrea, I'm not sure.
This is where you met, in the house?
Yes, yeah, that's the plug.
Great. Perfect.
Excellent. It's going to be so nice to hear some fiddle music. But anyway, my aunt, Kalina, is over at the arcade in Antigonish. And, but before she moved over there, she's, her, God love her memory of darn Alzheimer's. But anyway, or dementia, I should say. I don't know if it's Alzheimer's. But she, up until about 10 years ago, she still baked and she still used that can. And she told me that when she no longer needed it, that she would give it back to me, give it to me from my, that was my mother's. Anyway, she moved to another little retirement place in Mabu, and then she moved back to her house, and then she moved to the arcade, and we lost the little can. But just to know that, it was just kind of special, you know, to know that. Oh, Rita Wadden is looking forward to some fiddle music. I know, it's going to be wonderful. Gloria Doucette, go Habs go. Well, Cecil will be happy with you. Yeah, Prona Petrie. Hi, Betty Lou and Andrea. So we're going to talk to Andrea today. You know what? I just texted her this morning to see if maybe would she come and play on the outdoor little deck we have out front. And I have all my flowers there that I take in every night because I'm going to be taking the geraniums out of the pots that they're planted in, the hanging baskets, and they're going to be planted amongst my perennials. And so we're surrounded by a whole bunch of those flowers. Yeah, the tomato paste can, it's perfect. It's just the perfect size if you want that. But for some reason, we gravitated to the larger biscuit cutter. Heather Pike. Yes, you'll get to relax. Ashley is here, MJ. Where is he? Where is here? Ashley's in the house. Wouldn't that be something? You had snow yesterday, Barbara. My goodness, I thought we saw the end of that. Baking powder, 6 teaspoons of baking powder. And Helene Marchand just is right on there, right ever. Everybody's just knows what they're doing. Okay, I'm gonna leave this mess on the table. But before I do, for anybody who might not have watched my cinnamon roll, what I always do with my doughy bowl, I shake some flour in it, and like that, and I wash it with the flour, basically. If none of you have seen this before, and I go around the whole bowl like that, because there's nothing worse than getting the dough in the pan wet, and you get dough all over everything. But this is I don't know, it's just something that I did myself, and I don't know, there's other people on there that do that too. So then, you just have a little flour residue on the rest of your bowl, and it's easy to clean. No, you cannot make drop biscuits with this recipe. You'd have to use more liquid. And that was my first experience when I went to St. Joseph's Convent in Mabu, before the new school then was built, the Mabu Consolidated School. And we had domestic science, it was called, if you remember that. And then when we moved to the school, the new school, the next year, it was home economics. And, but anyway, we went in it was a nun that was teaching the class of domestic science, and she was making biscuits. And I was saying, oh, I know how to make biscuits. This is going to be great. I would have been in grade 7. And I went in, and she was making drop biscuits. And I was thinking, drop biscuits? Never heard of such a thing before. That's not the way we make them. And I just saw somebody mention drop biscuits. And but then we went to home economics, and we made lots of great things, and we sewed, and it was a great program, and I hope that they bring it back someday. The house out back. Barbara McLeod, Sister Mary Edna, I don't. I'm a domestic scientist. I like that. Okay, let's go have a look and give a little stir. Trying to get this. There we go. There's 5 minutes left. There's still 5 minutes left. The carrots need a little bit more. So we're good. We're still cooking with gas. Yeah, you know what? The old school in Mabu. There was a nun, the principal, Mother St. John Avellino was her name. Oh my God, she was cross. She was cross. But she was well respected too. Oh my God. Yeah, they had, she developed so many good programs that they had there and all of that. But I have to tell you about a time. You know how you were so scared of the nuns? At least I was. I was quiet. But there was a time it was Mama and Papa were celebrating their anniversary. I had a quarter, and of course I would have been in grade 6, and you weren't allowed off the school grounds, even though the old school was just right by the church in Mabu. For anybody out there who knows where the church in Mabu is, we weren't allowed off because we weren't in junior or senior high. And George Hunt's store was just like a minute walk away from there, but we weren't allowed to go. But I wanted to get a gift from Mama and Papa with my 25 cents. Anyway, they said, if you want to go, you have to line up at Mother St. John's office, and she'll listen to what you have to say, and then she'll give you permission or not. So there was about 2 people ahead of me, and I was shaking in my shoes. I was so scared. So anyway, I went, and I walked to the store. She gave me permission, but she said, you have to bring it back here and show it to me when you come back. I want to see it. So I said, okay. So I went to the store, and I got a pep bar for Mama, and I got a pen for Papa. One of those, if you remember these little pens that had a little white click thing on the side up near the top, and you would click it and it would go up and down. So that's my 25 cents covered that, and that was a good gift as far as I knew. And so back I went, and I stood at the door, and I knocked, and I opened the door because the bell had rung, and I was scared to death that she'd be waiting for this. And I went in, and I put it on her desk because she wasn't there, and I ran back to get to class. And so after school, you had to be on time to get your bus. And I went knocking on the door, and she wanted to know, what do you want? And I said, I came here for the gifts that I got from Mama and Papa, and I left them on your desk before. And she was, cross looking and whatever. She said, and then she just softened right up. She said, oh my gosh, I ate the bar. I thought somebody left that for me. Yeah. And in true Mary Janet style, what did I do? Yeah, I started to cry because that was Mama and Papa's gift. But what I was more astonished at was that a nun would eat candy I don't know what we had an idea of them, that they weren't normal human beings, but anyway, that she would eat. So anyway, she let me sit in her office, and she got the janitor, I think. I missed my bus, and she got me home on another bus, and she went and she replaced the pep bar and the pen. But anyway, that's my story. That's my story. So that was Mother St. John Avellino. And okay, see how these biscuits are doing. Oh, the biscuits are looking good. I better get my hot pads out. I do have another funny story of school. I'll wait for that timer to go off so I'm not interrupted. Okay, I'm not turning the soup off just yet. Turn off my oven. And there's the biscuits. They smell good. I'm going to put them on the cooling rack here. And now I'm just going to test it's ready. They're all cooked. So before we go out to hear some music, I'm going to get this together. So this is not at the point that you would, put in your cream. You don't do it until you puree this soup as it is. And, oh yeah, okay, I better tell you the other quick story. But some people formerly from Marble would get a good kick out of this. I never really talked much in school, and here I am talking a lot. But I don't know if I was in grade primary or 1, and it was a nun that was teaching us, Mother St. Anne Elizabeth. Anyway, she was talking to us about breeds of dog. Well, to us on the farm and everybody around, there was no such thing as a breed of a dog. The dogs were just Heinz 57, as they say. But she was talking about the various breeds of dogs, and she was talking about a collie dog, and she was describing the collie dog and all of that. So anyway, I put up my hand, and I guess she was surprised. She told me this later. She was surprised that I put my hand up because I never really did. I was scared. And she said, yes, Mary Janet. I said, I have a collie dog. This is what I said. And she said, okay, you have a collie dog. So tell us what the features are. How do you know that it's a collie dog? And I said, because I got it from Collie Johnny Ban. Now, anybody from Mabu will get that. Collie Johnny Ban, he was a wonderful soul. But I think he also bootlegged on the side. And do you know what the nun did? She bent over. She was laughing because she wasn't expecting that. And I was just as shocked to see the nun laugh as I was to see Mother St. John Avellino soften up. But imagine, Collie Johnny Ban. So that's my story. Okay, let's see if this immersion blender will do the trick, or otherwise I'll use my other one, but I think this is going to be okay. Can you see in there? Okay. So, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to add the cream. Okay. So I have, I usually, just so that I don't have any of that blend cream hanging out too much. There's 10% fat in blend cream. So it's, the recipe called for 1.5 cups. So I might have enough left in this. But sometimes I will just, I will use the whole carton. So I have to open a new one here. And there we go. Now, can you see into that pot? So I'm going to add the cream. And you can make this recipe like the day ahead, and then you would just bring it to a very slow heat, or I suppose you could put it in the microwave and that. There you have it. I see I still have a couple little chunks in there, but that's just fine, right? Okay, I'm going to plate it so that you can see it in case you can't stay for the music, and so you'll see it. I'm not having tea today. We're having soup and a biscuit, and so I'm just going to pour this into a bowl so you can see it. All right, and I'm going to bring you over to the table in a second. Okay. And we'll get this down pat. Okay, everybody. Let's see if I can bring you around here. I don't think you can see that. There we are. I'll put the camera down so that you can see that. And I will put my soup spoon, and I'm going to get a hot biscuit. There's my biscuit, nice and brown, and here it looks like on the bottom. And I don't like cutting my biscuit in half. I like using a fork. So I'm just gonna poke it around like that. You see that? Nope, this way. Oh, look at that goodness. I'm going to put some butter. A little bit of butter. I find if you take it apart with a fork, I don't know, it's just a nicer. See those biscuits? The butter is melting. And I have my sour cream here. And I'm just going to put a little dollop of that. Okay, now I'm going to try to show it to you, what it looks like. Goodness gracious, I'm terrible at this camera work. Okay, can you see that? It's yummy. So there now. I am just going to take a bite of the biscuit. It's so good. It's so good. It really is. Okay. Are you ready for some music? Some good old Cape Breton fiddle music. And I didn't know she was bringing her mom on the piano. So let's go out and find them. They're outside. We're going to come out here. There.
Stayed away from the flies.
Oh, or are there flies?
I'm like a pig pen. They just love me, and I put some spray in my hair, so it's worse even.
Oh,
So-
and that attracts them?
Oh yes.
Let's see if I can bring this down a little bit.
Maybe I should go back. Yeah, over there. We have a little hum going in our monitor. Sorry.
Why did you just sit in front of me?
Because I look like I'm 50 fucking pounds heavier when I'm sitting. Sorry. We on?
We're live. We are live. There's Andrea and Betty, the lovelies.
Oh, lovely. I apologize. I didn't realize we were rolling.
Do you want to use that?
The mic?
Yeah. You probably don't need it.
I don't need it. No.
Okay. Yeah, there's 721
What?
people watching you.
Hi. Everybody talking now. All right. How about some jigs?
Jigs sound great. Yes.
Oh, a few jigs. Well, I just-
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
That's
We're
great.
crazy busy.
I know.
Kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs here. But
And you don't need to see my face, everybody, but I wanted to tell you that, well, there's a few things that have happened. And Betty has sold her home and moved down to Mabu.
she had a great realtor.
She had Mitchell! And Andrea, you know, I think of Andrea and I think of, you have to make something great out of a bad situation. And COVID just took away the gigs from all of you.
2 years of work for
You
most
know,
of us. Like,
so seriously,
crazy. Yeah.
it's unbelievable. And so, Andrea came up with this little coffee shop that she has at the end of her driveway. It's called Beaton's Delight. The best coffee and tea. She serves good tea. And she's expanded on that, and she's calling it set number 1. Is
It's
it
the first figure, second
first figure,
and third
second figure, and third figure? So explain that.
So, okay, we bought a horse trailer and we're renovating it right now, in the process of turning it into the mobile unit. So I'm hoping to be in Port Hood and Judic and maybe around the Rotary or somewhere, you know,
Yeah.
different days, maybe consistently throughout the summer. Maybe some beaches, you know.
Yes.
And then the third one is the Rolling Cones, which is the hard ice cream trailer that used to be across from the Red Shoe. And I asked them last year, they didn't open, if they considered selling, would they think of me first? And they said sure. So I got the note. Actually, I was helping Mom pack boxes, and there was a lot of stuff going on with the horse trailer and the permits and stuff. And I knew my earring was falling off. Isn't that funny when you can feel that? Anyway, and yeah, so I said yes, definitely, I'd love to have it. And so that's all going to be opening hopefully end of June, beginning of July kind of thing. And Beaton's Delight is opening Friday.
On
the
Friday.
original. The first figure will be open on Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we'll probably go for second and third in that order.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Beaton's Delight is just at the end of the driveway, right beside the Red Shoe.
Yay.
And are the Red Shoe going to open, not as planned, but are they still thinking of opening?
I haven't heard a word since that came out on their website that they were opening.
Yes.
And then I shouldn't say I haven't heard a word. I heard then that they weren't sure because of the shutdown. But
Right.
now with the reopening plan, or the whatever they're calling it, reconfiguring the province plan, hopefully,
Hopefully that will happen.
please let us have the Red Shoe. We miss it so
I know,
much.
it's unbelievable.
I'll eat there, every day. Just everybody just go. Keep it
And
open.
today, I don't know if he's still on there, but Ashley McIsaac is watching today,
Oh,
and
hi,
having big. He's so comical. I was talking about an immersion blender, and he was talking about having a screwdriver and a drill, I think, and
Oh, funny.
making do.
I was telling Mom I had an immersion blender at my house and one at her house, and lots of her stuff landed at my house, and I couldn't find an immersion blender anywhere.
I have two
So,
if you need one.
Do you? Yeah, I'll call you next time. Should I play some more?
Yeah, I'd love to hear some
A
more.
little medley. It's Andrea MacDonald's birthday.
Oh, is it?
1985?
85 today.
Yes, happy birthday,
Holy
Andrea.
God, he's not. He's not
About
85.
70.
For some
He looks
reason,
70.
I feel like he used to say to me something like, key of G. I don't know if you like the key of G, so we'll play in the key of G anyway. I didn't know. I was wondering where he went. I didn't see him come in.
Even the car is socially distancing.
That's right, yes. That was great.
That's crazy. That's Cecil. There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Honest to God, that's pretty good music.
Oh,
Tell me, I have a question now, Andrea. What are you offering different this year than last year? You had some
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
things,
So,
but I hear you're having some soup, maybe, and sandwich or anything
no,
like that.
no. We're doing a breakfast muffin that we
Okay.
didn't do last year. Last year I did breakfast sandwiches on croissants.
Yes.
I bought and then I made the sandwiches on those. This year I'm going to do, it's like a savory muffin with ham and green onion and cheese. And it's like it's not a boiled egg, but it's an egg cracked in the middle. So when you cut through the middle, you can see the egg. It's kind of a surprise.
Oh, you mean it's baked right
It's baked
in the muffin?
So there's,
wow.
yeah, so it's like a kind of a breakfast in your hand. So
yes.
great for, like, I don't know, going on hikes. You can have your breakfast.
You have everything. You got your protein.
Yeah,
you got it all
exactly.
going on.
Yeah, so we're doing
Really?
those, and I'm going to do a gluten-friendly, I guess is the word, because it's baked in the same oven, but made with gluten-free ingredients. I'm calling it a maple French toast muffin, so it's just like almost like a bread pudding in a muffin, but
Okay.
less sweet, and then the little maple glaze on top.
Really
And then the mini
nice.
cinnies, of course, which are
Yes.
taken from your recipe.
Well, that's great. You're
Mine-
still having them. Good.
Yes, yeah. And then in number 2, the second figure, we're going to have a soft serve machine
Yes.
and hopefully
yes.
a slushy machine as well.
Oh my gosh, the kids are going to flock to that.
I hope.
Yes.
That's the one I'm going to be in most of the summer. I'll be touring around in my little horse trailer. It's also because it's heavy. And of course, it's the usual espresso-based drinks and
Yes.
tea and all kinds of fun stuff.
And what kind of coffee is
It's
it?
it's
Fair
just
trade?
us. Yeah, fair trade.
Fair
they
trade.
have they're really into the social justice stuff, and they were the first fair trade roasters in Canada.
Really?
And they do Beaton's Delight roast special, so it's not sold anywhere else, just from
Okay.
us. So, and I think it says on it smooth. What is it? Citrus and nuts or something. So maybe not allergy people don't want to drink it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, and
That's awesome.
and
third one?
the third one has hard ice cream. It'd be Scotsburn.
The hard ice cream, yes.
Scotsburn, which has joined farmers.
Right.
but-
And you're
Moon
employed.
mist, gotta have the moon
Moon
mist.
mist. and you're you know you're hiring people too, and that's a wonderful thing. Cause
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have 4 people hired this
Good.
year.
that's
Hopefully.
incredible. I mean, you just great, just great.
It's exciting. It's a lot of work, but it's
Yeah, it's a
exciting.
lot of
It's
work.
a holy
Oh, I
pile
love
of
you.
work, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good.
I think I sleep 2 hours a night, but that's okay.
Betty can vouch for that.
Yeah, I think
Nothing's changed.
well, a little's changed. There's 2 little ones to wake me up in the morning, so. Yeah.
So I know the flies are little. Those little flies are out
Aren't
there. I
they
didn't
crazy?
even notice that they were, and I feel so bad.
Don't feel bad. You can.
How
you
about
didn't ask
another
them to
couple
come.
of tunes? Would you be okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Do you have any requests, Mary Janet? Or Cecil?
Listen, by any chance, do you know Ashokan Farewell?
Yes, I do.
I
It's a long
love
time
that
since I
tune.
played it. I'll just play it through once, Mom, because
I have no pedal.
yeah, the
Oh.
pedal was on the
Wouldn't work.
fritz. Lots of things on the fritz. Anyways, my espresso machine's on the fritz. To be
Oh
honest,
no! Oh, you'll
Well-
get that.
that'll be sorted. Yeah.
pretty gosh darn good. Oh, gives the heart just a few pumps there. I'm just going to tell them what we're going to be making next week, and then maybe if you'd sing, you'd play one more tune, and we'll wrap it up.
Sure.
Because I don't want the flies to be driving them crazy. So, isn't that great music? And I'm glad. Hello, Dolores Carroll. Yes, it's just a great afternoon to hear them. I would like to step her off, but I can't. One of these days. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you quickly what we're going to make for next week. And we're going to make banana nut muffins. Now, the muffins are just a banana muffin with like 3 aged bananas is the best kind. And, but the topping, there's a topping on it that's got butter and brown sugar and a bit of rolled oats and some cinnamon and some pecans. Or whatever your nut of choice that you would like to have. And it goes on fairly thick. There's butter in it too. But it just kind of sinks down inside your neat muffin liners. And I mean, the rest of the ingredients, you know, it's just all-purpose flour and an egg and just the regular stuff. So anyway, we've got a bunch of little darn black flies that want to carry the musicians away. So I'm just going to have them play one more tune, but thank them for coming to be on my deck today and keeping them away from me, and God love them. It's hard to do this, but pretty soon we'll be over this darn thing. You're welcome. So I'll let you guys take it away for a last bunch of tunes.
Jigs, reels, what do you feel like?
Anybody out there? Jigs, reels, March Strasbay reel. We're a little. Thank you for the music, Bernice. From my sister Bernice is saying hello.
Hi, Bernice. We'll play an 8.
Oh, that's a good one. You liked my stories. Anyway, thank you all for joining us again for these couple of hours. And I hope it gives some of you a good lift. And those darn flies. But anyway, thank you for coming again. See you next Sunday. You know you matter to me. And I love you, and please I love everyone, and I want you to love everyone too. It's all a better world if we do this.
It's me, Charlie. If you like Grandma's video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. subscribe. Give it a like and subscribe.